Trip Fuller from the Homebrewed Christianity podcast, and you're listening to the country's second best religious radio show, a fiery fist of not quite right religious broadcasting fury. I guess I'm just going to keep doing these. We'll see. All right. Hello, this is Trip from the Homebrewed Christianity podcast. Doug Pagitt Radio is brought to you by the enthusiastic listeners like me, a fiery fist of not quite right religious broadcasting fury. I guess I'm just going to keep doing these. We'll see. All right. Hello, this is Trip from the Homebrewed Christianity podcast.
Ooh, yeah, baby, let's get on with it.
Yeehaw! Welcome to Doug Pagitt Radio, broadcasting live out of the Twin Cities, bumper edition. We have over the last week or so asked our enthusiastic supporters, listeners, community of Doug Pagitt Radio to chime in and to give us their little bumper music, their little bumper introductions, their pieces. So I wrote a little script, and then people took it as they want. So you're going to hear that today, and thanks everybody for doing that.
That was like an M.C. Escher painting. Have you seen those paintings where it looks like people are going down steps and around and down continually? And
oh yes,
it's like a trick of the optical illusion where it keeps going on. That reminded me of that last bumper. Kind of.
Yeah, thanks. I've tried to play a little bit with it. There's another radio program called Radio Lab. That if you've never listened to it, folks, it's worth listening to after you get done with this one. Program. It's really good quality stuff, and they do that. They have different people call in with their little intros. So I stole the idea.
Pretty much all radio programs have bumpers. Don't
you
think?
But not where they ask their listeners to
so
call
clever.
in. Not where they're we're more clever than all the other radio animals the Lord God has made.
That's why we're the second best. Who's the first best?
Well, I think Tripp is suggesting that his Homebrewed Christianity podcast is a radio show. I think that's what he was getting at, but it's not a radio show.
Oh, you see, you're taking issue with it.
Because he edits. That's fine. Podcasts are great. I run a podcast. Mm-hmm. It's just not live radio. This is live radio, and that's Victoria, the sidekick.
Hi.
Not only is this bumper music Wednesday, but we got a full-on hemp sit-in going on in this room. Victoria has come in with extra hemp-smelling tea tree oiled clothing today.
I'm a little extra odoriferous.
Yeah, and so I feel like I should be stoned, but I'm not. So I'm a little confused about the whole thing.
You all should be glad that radio doesn't have smell, because you would all
smell a radio,
you'd all be getting headaches. I was a little heavy.
No, I think it's. Were you?
So, yeah, a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with bringing that, and it's a blend of odors. It's like I'm at the co-op, at the Linden Hills Co-op, which is our little hippie co-op around here.
Yeah, only in a much smaller enclosed space.
Yeah, for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's got sort of a, I don't know, it's kind of patchouli.
Yep, there's some patchouli in there.
It's kind of hemp.
Yeah.
It's kind of wet wool.
Yeah, it's tea tree oil. I was trying to cover up the tea tree oil with the patchouli. And yeah.
Well,
instead
thanks,
got this
thanks
special.
For being here. Thanks for being here, nonetheless. And even with all the odor, nice to have you in, of course. Hey, we're gonna have Ani Zonneveld on today, and Ani's, one shouldn't play favorites, but she's clearly my favorite progressive Muslim. And she
of the
she
three
she had of the one that I know, but she's totally my favorite. I love her. And she has a new project going on called Keep It Halal. And so she is doing what a lot of us in Christianity and friends that I know in Judaism are trying to do with their faith, and that is to allow it to be modernized and to know and reflect on when your faith has been formed and shaped by cultural forces, but the keepers of the faith have often wanted to convince you that that's not about cultural forces, it's just about purity.
Yes.
And so she's pushing on that. And so she's got a little thing on Sharia law where she says Sharia law, and there's this quote, you're gonna hear it on the little, she has a movie coming out that's, it says Sharia law is completely man-made. And by man-made, she does mean that, not just human-made. But guys,
came quite a bit after the Quran.
Right. So she's going to tell us a little bit about that, and what and halal means that something is approved or acceptable or legitimate, proper. Yeah, we know that because we were just talking before the show about the meaning of the word halal.
We
I thought it was a
looking
meat. I actually thought it was a grocery store reference. I'm going to tell her that. Yeah. I did because the only place I
all
see
the grocery stores have that on there.
the only place I see halal is on a grocery store.
Like it's okay to come in here. Just bring your Victorian parasol. And
Well, I didn't even know that it meant it was
Yeah.
okay to come in here. I just thought it was like they serve halal meat.
yeah, I thought it was only in reference to food. I didn't realize it extended
Mm-hmm.
beyond to behavior. Showing my ignorance. But
Yes.
there's-
Well, yeah. Let's.
we might as well. That's what we do on Doug Pagitt Radio.
We-
We air our ignorance.
This is a radio show built around our ignorance, things we don't know for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Hey, and I'm also excited because we're bringing back two features that the community has clamored for.
Clamored.
They have clamored and begged. It was really becoming becoming an issue. People who were used to listening to the radio program when it was on air, over at AM 950 when it was broadcasting over the radio waves, they liked the features of the Right On, where we made a Right On, and where the Cripes Come On, You've Got to Be Kidding Me. Well, one of us liked the Cripes, You Got to Be Come On, You Got to Be Kidding Me. But other people said they liked the Right On, and I think the Right On and the Cripes Come On, You've Got to Be Kidding Me have to go as a package.
Yeah.
Because I'll say this in a minute, because the Cripes Come On, You've Got to Be Kidding Me segment is this normally fun and lighthearted and sometimes serious lament, public complaint, public grievance. It's
platform
Festivus for the rest of us.
On
kind of
which
thing.
you can share your curmudgeonly perspectives.
Yes, it is, but it's also where we cry out in collective voice that there's some things in this world that are not the way they're supposed to be.
You know, when you say
There's
that,
some
you
things that are
sound to me
broken.
like sometimes the way it feels like some of the writers in the Bible, like just kind of put these platitudes over.
that they're trying to pretty it
Spiritualize
up,
it.
spiritualize it, and pretty it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You
just
think
smacks a
I'm-
little bit of
You
that.
think I'm just complaining, don't you? You think
Yes, I do. I think
you think I'm
mostly-
just a guy who likes to moan and grumble about things. No, it's not. I'm doing a service. When I gripe and complain, it is a public service, and it's bringing people together to recognize. Yes, there are. Well, we'll get into this in a minute because the Cripes Come On, You Got to Be Kidding Me.
Yeah.
But the Cripes Come On, You Got to Be Kidding Me is a public lament, and then the Right On is the public acknowledgement that we have choices to make in this world. We don't have to leave things in the grumbling state.
No.
We can make the world that we want.
And we can be inspired by the people who are
Yes.
doing their thing.
Yes, and we can feel like there's other people who have faith and have hope and have love and have strength, and we want their faith, hope, love, and strength to spill over onto us a little bit.
And listeners, he won't even tell me. what the
No,
Right
it's a
On
secret. Sometimes I
like
hold the
Oscars.
I hold the Right On in so that it
Is
comes
in
with
a
all of its
sealed envelope.
with. I should do that. I should have a sealed
You
envelope.
should, and
It'll
you
be
should
li-
dress up.
I think I might do that. I'm going to pull out an envelope right now. When we do this, and it'll be like this is really dating myself. But before David Letterman was on television, and he's been on for a long time because he's an old
Yes.
guy, and before Conan O'Brien and before Jimmy Fallon, who I just don't care for.
No,
Do you care for Jimmy Fallon?
no. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even.
Yeah.
I'm.
We should have a segment called Yeah. Yeah.
there's some-
Jimmy
meh.
Fallon gets the I don't know. I just don't find him funny.
Yeah.
I know other people do all the time. I know there's listeners to this that right now
Which
they will
one
message
is
me
the
over at
redhead
DougPagitt.com.
one?
That's Conan O'Brien.
I like him.
And then Jimmy Kimmel is the other one. He's sort of the fresh-faced looking
Yeah.
fella. I don't know why I refer to him that way. Chubby, a little chubby
Little
sometimes.
chubby.
He's actually the live-in mate, I think, of Sarah Silverman.
I don't know who that is.
Really, you don't traffic in funny people
I guess not.
or in comedians.
Maybe not so
Well, how about
much.
that?
I'm not usually up that late. As the problem, I fall asleep with my children
Yeah,
in their
that's
bed,
fair.
and then I
That's
drag
fair.
myself up.
I was listening to an NPR radio program the other day while I was running, which is a dangerous thing to do.
Yes.
Because one could doze off. I'm kidding. And they were talking about R. Kelly.
Okay.
I didn't know who R. Kelly was. They played a song from R. Kelly. R. Kelly apparently is like seriously famous. Do you know who it is?
No.
He's a musician.
Who? What kind of music?
This is like radio brought to you by old people. This is like Buick
Culturally.
and Geritol, and it's unbelievable.
Ben Gay.
How do we not Ben Gay? How do we? Well, patchouli, the whatever.
Yeah,
What's the hippie
the
version of Ben Gay?
homeopath arnica.
Arnica. Oh, great. It's brought to you by Arnica. Doug Pagitt Radio, brought to you by Arnica and other people, other things that don't have anything to do with pop culture. But R. Kelly, see, okay, I feel a little better because,
so, what
I
kind
mean,
of
even the
music?
guy on NPR, it's people will know better than me. Rhythm and bluesy kind of stuff.
Okay.
Funk, soul, rap, blended
well,
with.
I should then.
With.
I mean, I do listen to The Current.
The Current.
I love The Current.
Oh,
You don't like The Current?
boy.
Oh, boy. Wow.
Yeah.
The
No,
Current
it goes
is one
in
of
the-
the best things that ever happened.
The Current is a public radio station here in the Twin Cities that plays music that nobody wants to listen to, so they won't play it on regular radio.
That is such a lie. That is
That's
ridiculous.
the tagline. I think it's their tagline. You haven't heard it? Radio nobody really wants to listen to, so we use public supported funds.
I know a bunch of huge Current fans, as I am.
Tens and
because
20s of them, I bet.
Almost everybody I know except you loves The Current.
But they don't know R. Kelly. And they don't know Jimmy
They may
Kimmel.
have
So I don't know who
played.
these people are that think they're all that, but they're not getting any. They're not getting anything out of us. Yeah. So what were we talking about that got us into R. Kelly? How did I transition into R. Kelly?
Where are we? Let's look at our schedule.
Yeah. Well,
I think we're supposed to do the Cripes.
No, I know.
Come on.
I just didn't know where we. I know. I can.
You're,
I can read this. I can read the timesheet. I do know
That
what's,
you
I do know
created?
that I made. I mean,
Your own
I just didn't
chart?
know I was talking about something before I was interrupted by the by the R. Kelly.
comedians, NPR running comedians.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is. But see, when that little dinging sound goes off, which sometimes people hear on the radio program, that's me
hate
having
that
a thought.
noise.
And it's coming out of my MacBook Air, and I cannot figure out what it is. I can't find it. I don't know what program in my computer is making that boinging
We
sound.
beseech you, listeners, can you
that-
fix that?
That
Can
should
you
go in
tell
the
us?
that
'Cause
should
it
go in the
hurts.
that should go in the come on in the come on segment.
Yeah, it
That
should.
that I can't. I mean, I feel pretty. I feel pretty.
You're pretty savvy.
I
You're
feel
running
pretty
the whole
savvy. I mean,
thing
yeah.
over there.
Thank you for noticing. I mean,
Notice.
we've got new cameras up. We've got
I know,
we've got
the
a cleaned up
cameras.
system in here. If you're just listening, thanks for listening, of course. But try watching sometime. I mean, if you think this is tantalizing radio as it is. Hey, we're gonna be back here in just a second with the Cripes and the Come On and the You've Got to Be Kidding Me here here on Doug Pagitt Radio. So so stick with us here.